Yes, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? The show that Ari Ferota would be if it wasn't Edgelord, but Ecchilord. A show about a fantasy world that sucks you into the atmosphere of adventuring and gives you that power wish fulfillment that you've always wanted as the biggest, baddest, and most aggressive come after our MC Belle. And when I say that, I swear I'm talking about the monsters and not the women and their chest size. But judging from the outside looking in, you may just see the title and a little bit of this, a whole lot of that, a teeny weeny bit of this, and think that it's just another ecchi power wish fulfillment, but trust me, it's so much more than that, which is why it's a relatively highly praised dungeon crawler story. Kinda like, but not really, on my YouTube videos, so you should like and subscribe if you're enjoying. And that's because instead of relying on senseless fan service and wish fulfillment, it's actually about a grand journey, about a boy from a small village that, unknown to himself, is the grandson of the god Zeus, which led one of the greatest familias to ever exist, has been raising him since birth to become the last hero, as all the others have died out and no one possesses the qualities of one anymore. All to complete the last great quest in Zeus's work of defeating the last great calamity, the Black Dragon, which is said to live in the bottom of the labyrinth that has only been partially explored. So first he must become stronger, form a party, conquer the dungeon, and of course rescue any girl and kiss them if they dare to sleep next to him. Hey, yo, wait, what's he doing? FBI, open up! Huh? And this is what the viewers and fans of DanMachi have fallen in love with, the romanticized story of the hero saving everyone, the world building and atmosphere that is portrayed to perfection, assisted with music and fight scenes that blow us away with their fantastic art and animation and directing skills, and comedic fan service breaks just to split everything up. But will Season 4 have all the great qualities the fans have come to know and love about the series? If you're looking for fan service this season, you should probably go ahead and rewatch High School DxD at this point, because you're probably not going to find it here. This season's very obviously much more story driven and probably going to reveal a lot more about the overarching story than any other season in the past has, giving it more of a serious tone and lacking a lot more of the fan service comedic breaks than normal. But at the start of Season 4, Belle reaches level 4, forming a massive party of adventurers from his familia and others to explore deeper into the dungeon than he ever has before to complete a quest from the guild. We get to see everyone as they prepare to learn new spells, crafting items, strategizing, and training to set out in dramatic fashion as they give us a small taste of the party's true power on the middle floors, and get to see what the deeper levels of the dungeon have to offer as they come up against irregular monsters that not only show signs of intelligence, but are able to set traps and have extraordinary power, which is really odd. Belle ends up falling into one of these traps and down 3 floors into the dungeon to then meet a mermaid that's topless. Okay, so maybe there is a little bit of fan service, I might have lied about that. But with this mermaid's help, he's able to navigate and fight his way through 3 levels of the dungeon by himself, showing off his new strength and make it back to his party just in time to then defeat the irregular monster with his newfound power, all just for them to discover a plot that endangers anybody inside the dungeon as Evilist plans to unleash despair upon them. Personally, I think this season could end up being the best of all of them for 2 reasons. One being the overarching story. This show has been going on long enough now that it's had time to sew in plot points like the dungeon's not all that it seems, the great quests, and the secret and good evil factions that are lurking in the dark, and they're all starting to intertwine now, giving us a much more complex story than we ever thought was going to happen. As the evil factions are starting to cause chaos, the dungeon's bearing its true fangs, and Belle is working actively with the good factions and is learning more about the truth behind the gods, the monsters in the dungeon than any other adventurer before, and not only creating a romantic story of the hero that's destined to save everyone, but a more complex story with world building and plot points sewn into it. They're creating a more immersive and intense season than they have in the past. The second reason I think this show is so good is the atmosphere, and I think the atmosphere is actually why this show has made a name for itself in the community. It has the world of fantasy, heroes, and adventures that we all love to see and are very familiar with, while also giving it a video game style with level stats and skills that many of us love as well. Combining these things with the amazing music that is perfectly toned to match the dramatic fights, adventuring feeling, and underdog triumph, accompanied by the small scenes like them learning magic and crafting weapons, just immerses you into their world and atmosphere, almost like you can just reach out and touch it. So obviously us animes only don't know how this plays out, but I think this season has the most potential of any season in the past, story-wise at least, while also bringing back its amazing atmosphere and world building with less of a focus on fan service and comedic breaks and more of a focus on the story, which is why I think this could be the best season we've had, and I'm not the only one as it's the highest rated season on MAL. But I hope you enjoyed my review of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 4. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, it really does help me out, and leave a comment down below on what you think about it, and make sure you check out my other socials as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Story than anything. god Zeus, which I'm up against a